Yo, YouTube everyone, welcome back to the channel. For today's video, I'm going to be going through, I would say, probably the most important concept in terms of improving in rank play hardpoint. Okay, so spawns. You always hear us talk about it. You always hear streamers talk about it, pros talk about it, players, you know, get spawns, do this, hold spawns. And some people are like, okay, cool, we're going to go through, get spawns. But some people are like, what are you talking about? So today I just kind of want to go through a few things that I think are kind of misunderstood in terms of spawns and just generally about them, okay? Because there's a few layers to them, okay? We're going to go through some examples in terms of what I mean by spawns and how to kind of calculate them and stuff like that. But I feel like spawns are kind of the backbone to improving in hardpoint. Without them, you're kind of just lost on the map, okay? So let's go through it and break it down. First of all, how do spawns work, okay? So the way it works in hardpoint, okay, is every single hardpoint hill will mainly have one spawn on either side, okay? So you're gonna have a primary spawn on either side of the map. Let me show you what I mean, for example, okay? So right now you can see we're on hardpoint skyline, okay? So for P2, okay, when I say the word P, it means point. So right now we're talking about point 2, okay? The way it works is every single hill will have one primary spawn, okay? Sometimes there's one primary spawn on each side. That's kind of the easiest way to note. So there's two primary spawns, okay? So what we're going to do is this. We're going to call this one A. Okay? This is primary spawn A. And then we'll call the other primary spawn like there, like B, okay? Okay, cool. Now the first step. How do you know this, Arv? How do you know this? What? Who taught you this? Okay, very simple. Very, very simple. When you play the game, okay, look at what hill it is. So right now we're on P2. Okay, where did you spawn? You're going to realize that there are only set amount of spawn points, okay? Let's say you've died 100 times on this hill. You'll realize that you spawn here a lot of the time. So, like, okay, this surely is a spawn point. You realize that you spawn around bottom bedroom. Okay, this might be a spawn point. And then sometimes you realize, hang on, I also spawn around there. So these are your main spawn points, okay? So in terms of like what we need to know, this is the first layer. Where do we spawn? How do we know that? Just when you die, spawn up and you're good to go. So right, I spawned here, have this in the mental block. So the first thing is for new players, play the game, get kind of used to where you spawn roughly, then you can deep dive, okay? That's layer one. That's all we really care about for now is these spawns, okay? Now, the way it works, and this is another thing that I think people really misunderstand, is when to block, how to block, stuff like that, okay? The game has, we're going to call this a we're going to call this the def cam, okay? So I'm going to make this little pink box here, and this is going to be the def cam, okay? So we'll call this the DC. Now, when people die, they are going to go into the def cam, okay? So we're going to pretend we're Activision right now. We're Call of Duty. We're trying to understand where to spawn people, okay? So the first thing we have is this A and B. These are kind of our basic understanding. So when imagine we have like a COD intern that's developing spawns. This is how I'd explain it. I said, right, Timmy, this is what I want you to do, okay? I want you to have a spawn A, spawn B. All I want you to do is when someone dies, okay, just spawn that player with their team to the closest spawn that makes sense, okay? That's kind of the most basic principle. So in this situation, okay, when this player dies, let's just say we're on end of P1. So we're kind of fighting around. You see someone's there. You see someone's there. Someone's there. Someone's there. And this guy dies. On their side, you got someone there, someone there, someone there, and someone there, right? This is kind of P1 going on right now, going into P2. So now P2 just happened, okay? P2 just happened. It's the start of P2, right? Fights are going down. Now, let's just say number one chucks a nade over and kills this guy. So now this is the def cam, okay? This is where it's super, super important. When you die, you have 3.5 seconds before you spawn up. So in those 3.5 seconds, the game is essentially trying to find a spawn for you. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 3.5. The second that happens and you spawn in, the game is thinking, of course it works at a very fast rate, it's thinking, where should we put this player, okay? Now in this scenario, what it looks for is this. Most people look at this and say, oh, we are holding the spawn of A, we're closest to A, so we're going to spawn on A. The answer is correct, the reasoning is not. And this is probably the most important thing about it, this reasoning right here, okay? The way it works, it isn't who is holding this spawn, okay? It is blocking. And I want you guys to realize the difference in the terminology between holding and blocking, okay? Holding the spawns is simply kind of making sure the opponents aren't there. You are holding this side of the map to kill enemies nearby. But this is just a way of defending the spawns. This hold is just a way of defending the spawns. Most people think this is how you get the spawn. That's not the case. It may work. It does work in terms of it's very similar. It's basically the same thing. But once you understand the terminology, I'll explain why it's important. There's a slight difference, okay? So in this situation, if I said to you, right, number one is holding the spawns or blocking the spawns, there's no difference. You're like, oh, it's the same shit. For this situation, it is. For this situation right now, you could say he's holding this, right? He's holding this A spawn. At the same time, you could say he's blocking the A spawn because he's standing there. Same shit, right? Cool, I understand. But this is where the layers get important, okay? Let's just say now we proceed, and every time there's a fight going on, he dies, he spawns there, he goes up. Same thing, right? Same thing until we get to a bit more of a mixy situation. So right now the spawns are simple, by the way. Everything's going well. You know, we're in kitchen right now. We're pushing through. We kill this guy. Where's he going to spawn? Back there? Like, things are going well right now. This is what we want. Now, why do we want to spawn A? Very simple. Very, very simple. We don't need to even understand COD at this point. If this is the hard point, right, where do we want our team? We want to be spawning next to the hard point. Simple as that, okay? Now, in terms of map control, right, why am I pushing out? Surely, if the spawns are so important, why are you telling two to go kitchen? Why would you not, like, isn't this a better setup off like this? Because, you know, we want to protect the spawns. Not quite. Let me explain why. This hill is your gold mine. This is your chest. This is what we want to look after, okay? If I asked you right now, this is your hill, and we have an imaginary line like this, okay? So this is line 1, or we have a line like this, okay? And I said to you, the opponents can get up to this line, right? What line would you trap them at? Would you let the opponents get here for free? Would you tell them that they could get there for free? Or would you prefer the opponents trapped behind line 2? I'm going to leave this for 1 second. Now, for some, it's like, obviously, for some, it's like, you know, taking a little bit of longer to process, and that's absolutely fine. This is where the skill gap's important, okay? So for me, for most people, you're going to understand straight away that, oh, if this is a silly question, it's going to be line 2. Of course you want them back, and that's the correct answer. But the problem is when you set up like this, you are giving them this for free. You're actually giving them the map for free. So when you set up like this and you're not pushing them back, without realizing, you are letting them get to this hill for free. And this happens all the time in gold and platinum lobbies specifically, okay? Diamonds are a little bit better at creating space. So what you actually want to do is keep them trapped here in a perfect world. In a perfect world, when you're holding the hill, you have them trapped. So this guy pushes up a little bit, kind of keeping them trapped in kitchen. Maybe he holds it from here, but he's still holding it further up. Maybe we have someone piano. And now you can just see we have a bit more space, okay? Now this is where it's super important again. Let's just say we are playing piano with this player, okay? Right now, this player is holding / blocking, okay? But this is where, again, it gets a little bit complicated, so I'm going to go through it slowly, okay? Somebody, somehow, some way, sneaks through, okay? In this scenario, we're just going to say there's a gap. Let's just say there's a gap in the setup because this guy isn't realizing he's holding the hill as well. He gives up kitchen because he's paranoid. And let's just say number 3 sneaks across, okay? So number 3 sneaks across. And number 8 is kind of stacking piano like this. Okay, cool. This is where holding doesn't make sense. Let's go through why. Technically, he is holding the spawn, but so is he. So now this is where we realize that holding doesn't give you the spawns, because you would think right now, oh, a red team is holding A. Why don't they spawn here? And this is where the new term blocking comes in. And I think this is so much more important to talk about and learn, because this is what creates everything, okay? So now we have the word blocking. Why are we using it? What does it mean? Let's go through it together. Again, we're going to keep it simple. I know for some people it might be a bit slow. I do apologize. I'm trying to really keep it simple for everyone at home, just for people beginning to Hardpoint, just to get, you know, a bit more used to it. So right now, okay, the game, this is what I said earlier, the game is going to say, right, where should we spawn number 1? They don't look at this and say, oh, we have A, let's spawn them A. What the game looks at is, okay, we have 2 possible spawns. We have spawn A. So let's do this for now. We have spawn A. And we have spawn B, okay? Let's look at spawn A. Is spawn A safe right now? The answer is no, because number 3 is blocking. Number 3 being here is blocking this spawn for the red team. So when number 3 stands there, what he's telling the game is saying, game, I am blocking this spawn. You are not allowed to spawn the red team here. Now, sometimes you get those stupid spawns where they still spawn here. Those are very, very niche cases, and those are where, honestly, the game is just making the weird decisions. But for the most part, right now, the game is going to say, oh, well, okay, we understand. All right, Blue, relax. We understand you. Okay, we won't spawn them there. Let's just spawn them at the other spawn point. And then the Blue's like, hello, do you not see me here as well? And then they're like, oh, damn. So the game's like, hang on, you're telling me you're blocking B and A. What do you want me to do here? So then the game says, all right, I'm the game. I decide what to do. So what does it do? It creates another spawn point, which is parallel. Okay. And this parallel spawn we call C. This spawn is a parallel spawn. It is only available when both spawns are blocked. That's why I didn't mention it. This is kind of like an extra spawn that we don't normally have. It's only here because the other spawns are blocked. Very important to know them, but also important to understand that they're not always open, okay? So now the game's going to say, all right, listen, Red, I'm sorry. I know you want to spawn on A. I know your team's trying to hold it, but I just can't spawn you there because Blue's blocking it. So then you spawn there, okay? Now this is where it's important. When you're playing, imagine if you are this player here, you're number 3, right? As soon as your teammate dies, you need to look at the minimap. Because if your teammate spawns there, then you know this is safe. No one's there. This is the indications, the minimap. When you watch the minimap and you see, oh, my teammate's here, you know that, remember what we said? It means that nobody from Blue is blocking spawn A. Otherwise, if he was blocking spawn A, where would he spawn? He would spawn over there. So if you see a parallel spawn, it means that both teams are blocking the other spawn. It's very, very important to understand that. And that's it. That's the basics of like Hardpoint. Once you understand that with spawns, you're in a good spot. That's all you need to understand. Use the minimap and realize, okay, if my teammate's spawning here, we have spawns. If we spawn out, it doesn't mean we've lost spawns. It just means someone else is also blocking the spawn point. And then what you need to do is find that player. Get this guy out. Once we kill him, right? He is going to spawn there. And now let's just say at the same time, sorry, he's dead there. At the same time, number 4 kills this number 4, right? And this is the perfect bit. Now, do you know what the game says? The game says, right, hang on. This is what the game says. Hang on. Do we, what do we do? What do we do right here? Well, the game says, hang on. Okay, so the primary spawn is A and B. Who died first? This guy died first. So 1, 2, 3.5. Okay. Can we spawn him at A? Oh, Red's blocked it. Okay. Can we spawn him at B? Red hasn't blocked it. There you go. You spawn right there. Enjoy your day. Right. 4, where do you spawn? Can you spawn at point A? Has Blue blocked it? No. There you go. Enjoy your day. They don't even mention C because C is an extra spawn. Right. And that's it. That is the spawn concept. Most of the time, there's 2 spawns. Sometimes when people block a spawn, there's going to be a parallel spawn, okay? So all you want to do is just make sure wherever you're holding spawns, you're clearing that area. And in terms of, do we want to sit at the very back? Not really, because we want to make sure we're pushed up. Now, I'm going to give you another example, and we're going to end it there. I don't want to overcomplicate. I want to keep it nice and simple. I've gone through quite a bit. I just want to end it there. I just want to go through 1 more minute, okay? So bear with me for 1 minute. That's the end of P2. I always see this, okay? So for the majority of the hill, you want to spawn there, okay? Now, where are the main spawn points? You have spawn point A right over there, okay? Spawn point B right over there, okay? Cool. That's it. Perfect. That's perfect, okay? So now we always want to spawn A. Let's just say we're going to P2 now, right? At the very start, you're by yourself. You're standing there. You're by yourself. You're standing there, okay? Your whole team are dead. Let's call this the death zone once again. We're going to make the death zone right over there, top right corner for you guys. Oh, okay. I meant that to be pink. So let's just say these 2 are dead. This guy's dead. And this guy's dead, right? And we're going towards P2 right now. They're coming through the front. Okay, cool. In this situation, we're on P2. This is the game. This is all the game's going to do, okay? This is all the game's going to do. This one's fairly simple. The game's going to say, right, who died first? Number 1, you died first. Okay. Let's spawn him on A. Oh, Blue's blocking it. When I say blocking, you're around that area. So you're blocking that spawn. Okay, he's blocking it. You're going to spawn there. That's it. Perfect. Okay, cool. Now, in terms of, you spawn up. There you go. You're good to go. You got the spawns, okay? But where it gets important is this. Let's just say in this scenario, they're pushing through. They're trying to get the spawns. If you are Blue right now, number 1, do not make a superhero play. What you want to do, what you should do right now is get to the back of the map and just try and drag the arrows as far away as possible from your team so your teammates can pinch. Let's say your teammates are spawning there right now, whatever. This is like the end of P1, okay? So let's just say they're coming from this way, right? This isn't P2 or the end of P1, now it's P2. So we're kind of like transitioning from P1 to P2. So let's just say your teammates is coming to trying to help you, okay? Don't be Superman. Don't chow. Play your life. Let your teammates come and help you as long as possible, okay? Then these guys are going to come here. Now, every second they spend getting closer to you is buying time for your team, okay? And in this situation, let's say you kill them, they're going to spawn out. But let's play another scenario where you guys get a 3-piece. You played your job phenomenal. You get a 3-piece, so he's going to spawn out, he's going to spawn out, he's going to spawn out, for example, okay? You've done a great job. This is where you need to take the initiative to realize, okay, we've got no pressure. Me sitting back here does nothing for my team, okay? You might have something like this. You might have someone up there, for example. You might have somebody maybe holding lobby, and you might have somebody else kind of maybe reinforcing the front like that, right? Let's say you have this as your setup, okay? You being here does nothing. It does absolutely nothing, okay? Am I saying to be there? No. What I'm saying is you want to hold the back, but be smart about it, okay? When you sit here, you are leaving your teammates in a 3v4. You are basically saying to your teammates, you guys hold it, I will hold the spawns. And you're giving them a disadvantage. What you should be doing is saying, right, we've got the kills, we have map control. I'm going to now play around there, or even play around there. And what I'm going to do is watch hedges from there and also help you lobby or something like that. Or be able to support you from both areas, maybe even push lobby a little bit, finesse, slide around, just be annoying, kind of play around that area, okay? Sometimes, let's just say, this is like another layer, which I don't want to get into right now because it's a bit more complicated, right? But let's just say you pushed up a little bit and played there. I don't agree with this, but let's just say you did that, okay? And you're worried that they're going to spawn there. They cannot spawn there unless they die. So right now, you can sit here and watch well. Let's say they go through now, your teammate needs help, okay? You're sitting here, you're sitting here, you're sitting here. Go and help him, okay? Now you've killed him. Now you've killed him. Let's just say you've killed both of them, okay? If you're worried about the spawn, guess what? You have 3.5 seconds to block here. 1, 2, 3, 3.5. The game says, all right, can we spawn the mate? Ah, he's blocking it. All right, we're going to spawn him back there. That is it. You only need to block when they are dead. So if you feel like you want to help your teammates a little bit, you can. And if you feel like, okay, I'm helping my teammates, I've pushed up, all right? Let's say we're helping them, I've got 2 kills, and you just feel like, oh, maybe I pushed up too much, then just say, all right, 1, 2, 3.5, they spawn, now you go forward again. Just get the kills and then help them, okay? And then again, this is another layer to it. Let's just say, in this scenario, you guys are fighting and they're kind of going through and they're I don't want to get into secondary spawns right now on this one, but just to go through it, the secondary spawn is basically that right there, okay? That's secondary spawn there. How do you know it? Because people spawn there all the time, okay? But let's forget that for now. This is more important. This is more happening when, like, for example, someone pushes rock and you're at the back, then they're going to spawn on the side. But in this situation, this is the last thing I'm going to end on, okay? For majority of this hill, we want spawn point A. We want this spawn for like 35, 40 seconds, okay? For the last 20 seconds, and this is going to be the most important part. I say this about everything, which is not good, but this is one of the most important things, okay? Right now, let's just say you get a 4-piece. You get an insane grenade kill. I don't know how you guys did an insane nade kill. If you're standing back here now, and you just got a 4-piece, and there's 20 seconds left, 25 seconds left, right? What you say to the game is, hang on, game, I want this to be clear. This is what you do, okay? As soon as they get in there, let's say you're playing with a team, solo queue, whatever it may be, okay? Get your ass out of there, bro. If you're playing with a team, even better, tell them, go rock, go rock, go rock, go rock. So he goes rock, right? 1, 2, 3, 3.5. And in that same time, you've slid through, you've got through, you're standing there. Guess what? Guess where they're going to spawn? These are 3.5 seconds. They're going to spawn. The game's going to say, right, spawn point A. Is it blocked by blue? Nope, you're good to go. Now, is this the good spawn for P2? Yes. But there's 15 seconds left. You can hold this. This is only the good spawn when there's a minute left, 50 seconds left, because it's so much time. When there's 15, 20 seconds left, this is amazing. And then, just to go for an extra layer, what do we do now? This is where you communicate, okay? This guy's taking a route now. So what number 2 does is say, right, I'm picking up fences. Why? Because when they spawn, if they're good, if A are good, they're going to realize they're trapped here. They are going to try and escape. They're going to try and push through and get through fences and try to rotate. So you cut the lanes. You have someone there. You have this guy going through watching middle like this. And now you're in a beautiful spot. Now you're just in an amazing spot. Why? Because you have the whole of middle. This guy's going to back away, hold the pinch like that. You have somebody holding there, secret, and you have somebody holding time. You get an extra wave. Again, you get the kills. Now you can back away if you want, hold spawns, whatever. That comes after. This guy can block spawns, whatever. But in terms of the end of P2, this is how you want to transition. A little bit random today. I just really wanted to go through the basics of spawns and hardpoint and kind of just give a few tips and tricks on it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like, subscribe. If you guys want personalized coaching where, you're like, oh, I kind of get it, but I want you to really break down my gameplay and, tell me where I'm going wrong. I've got you, man. Make a ticket. The Discord is down below. If you go into the Discord, there's an Arv coaching section. Create a ticket. All the information's there. If you guys like the video, like the content, you will love my e-guide as well down in the description. Black Ops 6 ranked e-guide. Ton of stuff there, like an hour e-guide as well of an audio book, which I think you guys will love for a couple of dollars. Hope you guys enjoyed. Catch you guys on tomorrow. Peace.